every human being who ever was lived out their lives on a mote of dust suspended in a sunbeam.
It's February, that means it's time to chat a little bit about space history. February 1st, 2003, we have the memorial of the Columbia Space Shuttle. Now, the Columbia Space Shuttle actually had plenty of missions before its final one that ended, unfortunately, in its destruction when re-entering Earth's atmosphere. The Space Shuttle Colombia actually had 28 missions total, and it was in that final one that it ended up getting some damage when it was leaving Earth and going into space. And when it was in space, it was fine. However, returning through Earth's atmosphere, you're undergoing a lot of temperature changes, heavier elements, and even a plasma shield that starts to form around the nose and the space shuttle, pretty much its entire body. And with the damages in its thermal protection system, this actually caused the shuttle to completely disintegrate, causing a loss of the entire crew as well. And so this mission is one to remember, to honor all those astronauts who went down the mission and knew the risks of going to space. So let's honor and respect the crew and the family and the entire program, risk their own lives for the sake of this mission, for science, and also just for the evolution of humanity in space. February 24th in 1968. This was the launch of Titan IIIC, which was a ballistic missile. And this actually was one of the pioneers in rocketry and space exploration, a really crucial step in space exploration and the capabilities of rockets. I mean, rockets started as missiles, and as much as we think that's, probably pretty terrible because these were used for defense and war, I like to recognize the fact that, okay, something that was created for bad actually ended up being used for something positive, which is for, science, scientific research, space exploration, getting humans to do more in space, which in turn has really helped us here on Earth. But this was the first successful operational intercontinental ballistic missile launch, and this is ICBM. February 20th, 1962, the first orbital flight of John Glenn, an American astronaut who piloted the Friendship 7 spacecraft. And this was part of the Mercury Atlas 6 mission. And this was huge. This was a huge moment for the US because just the year prior, Yuri Gagarin, a Russian cosmonaut, became the first human to ever go to space. And that was kind of like a big challenge in the 60s between the US and the Soviet Union. They were really kind of going head in head trying to see who would actually get to space first. And so this was a really big moment for not just John Glenn, not just for NASA, but for all of the US. Speaking of the Soviet Union, on February 19th in 1986 was the first launch of really the main module of the space station Mir, which was part of the Soviet Union. It was their very first space station, and this was the core module for the space station itself. And this marked the beginning of a long and historic mission to space. Since then, Mir is not around anymore, but it was really, really important for a while. February 14th, Valentine's Day, was in the year 1990. Do you guys know what this event was? This was the pale blue dot image that was taken by the Voyager 1 spacecraft. It made its way all the way out to the orbit near Neptune, it turned around towards Earth, faced its cameras at Earth, and snapped this photo. And this just shook humanity. I mean, this was like huge because this was our first time really seeing Earth from such a great distance, which actually is, still in our solar system. It's not like as if it was like on the other side of the galaxy, which we've never sent a spacecraft to. This was really seeing Earth for the first time in this, just void of space. It was in a literal sunbeam. I mean, you see it in this, it looks like a speck of dust in a sunbeam. This is just so monumental. And I can attempt to put words to my human emotions to it, but I think who really did a great job of that is Carl Sagan. So let's take a moment to hear Carl Sagan's interpretation of the pale blue dot.
From this distant vantage point, the Earth might not seem of any particular interest. But for us, it's different. Consider again that dot. That's here. That's home. That's us. On it, everyone you love, everyone you know, everyone you ever heard of, every human being who ever was, lived out their lives on a mote of dust, suspended in a sunbeam.
Launch of a spacecraft that became the first spacecraft to orbit an asteroid. It was the asteroid Eros, and this was the NEAR spacecraft. NEAR, of course, is an acronym, and it stands for Near Earth Asteroid Rendezvous. And this was really important. It studied and collected data on the asteroid Eros. This was one of the earlier missions that really started to explore asteroids, which is a really important thing, actually, because this leads us to the next thing. February 15th in 2013, an asteroid exploded over Russia. And this led to the kind of realization that we should probably really be studying near-Earth objects and measure their trajectories, get alerts of kind of where they are if they're coming closer to Earth, because death by asteroid impact is very possible. I mean, that's what scientists believe what happened to the dinosaurs. And so having things like this mission, which I just did an Instagram video on, which is the 4-of-a-kind mission through North Star and Spire Global, launching on a Rocket Lab Electron rocket. This is a situational awareness satellite, space situational awareness satellite. So it's going to low Earth orbit, and it's going to be, this is actually a deck of cards, by the way, and it's going to be, measuring near-Earth objects like asteroids, meteor showers, like meteor debris, space debris, other satellites as well, so that we can prevent collisions from happening. It's able to measure the trajectory of, or will be, hasn't launched yet. Probably when I post this video, it would have launched. It'll be measuring the trajectory of these asteroids, so the path in which they're moving, the speeds in which they're moving, and then also giving us alerts here on Earth. It's going to provide the service of being like, hey, there's an asteroid, hello, be careful. So very important. And this event that happened, which caused a huge, powerful airburst over Chelyabinsk, Russia, is a really important lesson here for us to monitor near-Earth objects. The event is February 11th, 1970. This was Apollo 14. And Apollo 14 landed in a kind of funny region of the moon, in the Fra Mauro region. The Fra Mauro region was named Fra Mauro because of an impact crater on the moon, about an 80-kilometer diameter crater named Fra Mauro. And they landed here to do, some geological studies, some lunarological studies. but to grab some samples, to understand the chemical composition in this region, to get some moon rocks, to bring it back to Earth. And kind of fun fact is, on this mission was the first time a golf ball was hit on the moon. I gotta get the video for this. I'm really curious. Hopefully there is a video. But this was with astronauts Alan Shepard and Edgar Mitchell. And Alan Shepard is the one who hit the golf ball on the moon. That is February. Those are your space events. I'm going to put together another video for March, so just stay tuned. It's really nice to celebrate the different kinds of events that happen. I hope that you get to take a few moments this month kind of recognizing each of these events, and let's always remember why we love space, why we do what we do, and continue to explore the cosmos. Alrighty, bye everyone.